It's time to talk about Sephora Beauty Insider, and I'm so excited because I have so many new products to share with you. I don't even want to know how much money I have spent at Sephora in the last 2 months. They opened a new store in my neighborhood, and it's never busy. It's kind of like in this little pocket of Westlake, and I am not kidding you when I tell you I'm there at least twice a week. The girls there already know my name, and it's been open for like 3 weeks, so I probably need to reel it in at some point because, like I said, if I looked at how much I've spent in the last couple months, it would probably make my stomach churn. It would definitely make Paul's stomach churn. But all that to say is I have a lot of great products to share, and a lot of these are new releases. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, I have to cover foundation, and for foundation, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I picked 2 product recommendations based on different skin types. So if you have oily skin, this will come no surprise to you if you watch any of my videos in the past. This is the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. This is a beautiful natural matte formula. It is going to give a matte finish, but it's not too dry or flat. It looks more like a velvety matte finish. It lasts and performs all day long. I can always rely on this foundation to just give me a good makeup day. When I have a special event, this is the foundation I go to. When I have an event in the evening and I'm not going to have time to touch up my makeup before, so whatever I put on in the morning has to look good in the evening, this is the foundation I go to. It's very beautiful, and I would recommend it to everyone unless you have really dry skin, but particularly oily skin, this is one you gotta try. By the way, I'm the shade 2.5 neutral in this. I will have all the products listed down below, and I will include my shades next to them. And I'm also gonna tag these products in the YouTube shopping platform. That's a new platform that YouTube rolled out recently where you guys can actually see the products as I'm talking them in the videos, and you can shop while you're still watching the video. So I'm gonna give you a couple options to shop, you guys. Okay, let's say if you have more drier skin, I am gonna recommend the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. One of my favorites. It's the one that I have on today. It just gives a really beautiful natural satin finish. It's hydrating, but it's not shiny or greasy looking. And this is really great for all skin types too, with the exception of maybe like a really oily skin type. But if you have normal, if you have combo, or if you have dry skin, particularly dry skin, I think you will love this foundation. The coverage of this is a good, like medium. It's buildable, and it also wears beautifully all day. I do like to set it with a little bit more powder in certain areas, but it's one that I can put on in the morning and trust that it's going to look good 6-8 hours later. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm the shade Punjab. I'm going to have it listed below. Okay, you guys, let's talk about concealers. Now, I love many concealers from Sephora, so please don't take this list as like an exhaustive list. There are many other products that I love that I've talked about, and you can view them all by looking at past Sephora videos that I'll link down below as well. Let's talk about the House Labs concealer. This concealer gets a lot of attention. I was actually on a call with someone that works in Sephora corporate, and they said that they feel like this is their best concealer formula in store. So I have the shade 24 Light Medium Neutral, and this is a really beautiful concealer. It gives great coverage. It has a very natural finish. It just wears beautifully, and it looks just very natural on the skin. It's not heavy, it's not drying, it's not too creamy, so it's gonna stay and set in place. I really love this. If you like her foundation, which I know many of you do, you would love the concealer. You guys, I'm so excited to share this new product. This just launched this week, and full disclaimer, I have worn this one time. So keep that in mind as I'm sitting here telling you how amazing it is. I've worn it one time, okay? Full disclosure, but this was a product that I just applied today, and when I put it underneath my eyes, I mean, my jaw literally dropped. This is the new Say Concealer. It's the Slip Tint Concealer. Now, they have 2 concealer formulas. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one, but this one is, oh my goodness. I need to wear it a little bit more. Obviously, one time is not, I feel like I can't give a really thorough review by wearing it one time. But let me tell you what impressed me about this concealer. It's extremely lightweight. It feels like nothing underneath the eyes. It glides and blends like a dream, and it has a very soft and beautiful, radiant finish underneath the eyes. It almost like highlights underneath the eyes when you apply it. It is absolutely stunning. If this wears well, like all day, this will be my #1 new concealer. Now, the coverage on this is lighter. It's not a full coverage concealer, but it's one that you could probably mix with a full cover concealer. It's one that would be beautiful on the face. If you like to highlight the face or do any contouring, you could buy a darker shade. And I always like to recommend lighter concealers for that, so you don't have something heavy and cakey on the skin. Say, you guys knocked it out of the park with this concealer. I'm very impressed. I picked up 2 two shades. I picked up the shade 6 and I picked up the shade 5. I'm wearing 6 today, and let me just show you a comparison of the two so you can see if you tend to line up to my shades. Hopefully this will be helpful. It's so stunning. I think I might even go buy it in even a lighter, brighter shade. So, okay, so we have 5 is a lighter one, and then we have 6. Okay, let's talk about highlighters real quickly. I have a gel highlighter for you and a powder highlighter for you. Since we just got off the Say Beauty concealer kick, let's talk about their liquid gel highlighter. This is the shade Star Glow, and you can buy this in a mini if you don't want to buy it in the large. This is my favorite liquid highlighter because it's so light. It's a gel formula, and I really like to apply this with my finger. You can use a brush too, but honestly, your finger's gonna work best. It is just so nice and light. It's not overly shimmery at all. It's very subtle, but it also does make impact. I have it right here on my cheekbone. You can see it doesn't accentuate texture. It just, when the light hits it, it just activates this beautiful, angelic glow. It is stunning. I love this product. You can mix it in with a moisturizer or mix it in with a foundation. I actually just like to apply it right over my makeup, over my powder, over everything. It'll be my last step to my makeup application, and it doesn't disrupt the makeup underneath it. It's really, really stunning and beautiful. And you can pick up the small size if you want to try it out. If you prefer a powder highlighter, I would highly recommend the Dior Face Glow palette. You get 4 shades, and I'm gonna be totally honest, this would have been a product that I walked by every time because I would think to myself, well, I might use this one, but I'm not gonna use the other shades. But I was influenced by Nikki LaRose. She actually had this and used this on me when she was in Austin 6 months ago, and I went and bought it because anything Nikki raves about, I'm like, okay, I must have it. And I use all 4 of these shades. I like to mix the lighter 2 and pop it right on the inner corner. It's what I did today. And then pop it right here, not just in the inner corner, but actually on the side of the top of the bridge of my nose to really brighten and blow up that inner corner of the eye, make it to highlight it and widen the eye. And then I'll use the pink over blush, and I'll use the bronze as eyeshadow. This is a very shimmery highlighter, but it's so refined. So it actually gives kind of the same look, honestly, that the gel does. It doesn't look frosty, it doesn't look metallic, it doesn't look heavy. It's a very beautiful, a very luxurious formula. So highly recommend this one. Okay, you guys, let's talk about powder. I have a pressed formula and a loose formula for you. When it comes to loose, I don't think there's a better powder right now than the Givenchy Prisma Libre powder. If you want a really soft, matte, lightweight powder. If you want a really maxed out matte finish, I love the one size loose powder. That's beautiful. This is just a little bit more sheer. And I have 2 shades. I have the shade 3 and I have the shade 2. Both are beautiful. 3 is a little more pink and 2 is a little more kind of neutral. This is the small size, this is a large size. So you actually can buy a small size and you get plenty of product in here, you guys. I would actually probably recommend starting with the smaller size if you haven't tried the product before. I know the large is $60, I think. I'm not quite sure where the smaller lands. I want to say it's in the mid-20s, but quite a bit of a difference between the two, and this is going to give you plenty for a long time. Okay, you guys, let's talk about blush. I have a few blush formulas to share. Patrick Ta's Duo, the cream and the powder duo blush formulas. I mean, you don't get better than this. This is so good. Such a beautiful formula, both in the powder and in the cream. Now, I have 2 shades. I have She's Blushing, which is more of a peachy mid-tone pink. And then I have my new favorite blush shade is the shade Not Too Much, which is much more of a softer, nude, neutral, rosy pink. It's softer. Let me show you. Let me actually compare the two so you can see. So you can see this one's, it's deeper and it's more peach. This is lighter and just more rosy. This is stunning. Oh wait, which one do I have on? Yes, this one. This one is stunning. I'm obsessed with it. I got it a few weeks ago and it's pretty much the only blush I've been wearing. It's what I have on my cheeks right now. It's really beautiful. I like to actually apply the powder one first and then top it with the cream. Both formulas look pretty by themselves, so you don't have to layer them like that. I was actually told that Patrick Ta developed these to be used in that way. Put the powder first, top it with the cream. And I will say I have his bronzer and I have this other shade, but this is the only shade that I like to do that with. I find with the others, if I do the powder first and the cream on top, it's just too much pigment, too much color. But because this is a softer shade, I like to do that with this one. So really love this. If you're light skin, light to medium or medium skin tone, this is a really beautiful shade. Another formula of blush that I love, 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 it's so luxurious, is the Valentino blushes, you guys. And I actually don't have my favorite shade here. My favorite shade is at home, and I'm going to link it down below, and I'll note it down in the description box, and I'll put favorite shade so you know that that's the one I'm talking about. I don't even know which one it is because they're numbered, but these are the other two that I bought, and let me show you. And first of all, let's just talk about the packaging of this Valentino. I mean, it is stunning, you guys. It's stunning, and then what I think is really special, it comes with this little brush, and I would actually use this brush. They did well with this applicator. Usually I just discard all the applicators that come in cosmetics, but this one's good. The formula of this is so beautiful. It's a powder. It does have a frost and a shimmer to it, but it's a very creamy powder. This is the shade 2. It's a punchy kind of fuchsia pink with a really beautiful pearlescent. So pretty. These can actually be used on the eyes and the cheeks. And this is the shade 3. Let me show you this. This is more of like a pinky lilac shade. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the finger. It's a lot lighter. Really have more of like a lavender pink hue to that. And the other shade I have, again, I don't remember the name, but it's more of like your kind of classic peachy pink. It's my favorite of the 3, but I loved it so much that I hopped online and ordered these 2. Haus Labs new blushes are stunning, you guys. This is the shade Hibiscus Haze. Let's apply a little bit right now. I'm going to use my N17 Nikki LaRose. I'm going to use the darker side so I can pick up very light pigment because I do have quite a bit of blush on right now. Let's see, where's my mirror? Where's my mirror? Here you are. These are really beautiful, very, very pigmented. So you want to make sure that you use a brush that allows control. So I would avoid like a real dense brush, and I would use a brush that is going to lightly pick up product and apply it in a real sheer manner. So pretty. This is more of like a pink with a punch to it. Really gorgeous. Kind of reminds me of like a fruit punch color. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's not frosty or metallic. Really nice. Okay, let's jump over to bronzers. I'm going to keep it simple here and just recommend my favorite bronzer of the moment, and it is the Patrick Ta bronzer. I have the shade She's Bronzed. I want to get a shade lighter than this. I don't know if they have a shade lighter, but I want one shade lighter than this. It's a cream with a powder on top. I love both formulas. I don't particularly love to layer these on top of each other. I've tried and I don't like it. I like to either use the powder or the cream. Today I have on the cream. It's just got the perfect amount of pigment. It's creamy, it's even, it lasts all day, it doesn't move, it's not splotchy. It's just a really beautiful cream formula, and so is the bronzer. The bronzer does have a little bit of a sheen to it, not super glittery or frosty or sparkly, but a little bit of a sheen. It's not a matte bronzer. So I forgot to share the pressed powder earlier when I mentioned the loose powder. So the pressed powder that I wanted to share is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Airbrush, and it's the Brightening Flawless Finish Powder. It looks white, but it's more translucent. It does brighten wherever you apply this, but it's very sheer and beautiful. I like to apply this underneath the eyes to brighten, but this is the powder that I keep in my purse for touch-ups throughout the day. I love Charlotte Tilbury's formulas. Their powders are very silky and lightweight, and they just sit on the skin really naturally. They mattify, but they don't look dry or heavy. Okay, let's talk about eyes. I actually just have one eyeshadow palette to share. Now, keep in mind, it's just kind of more of a new release product. There are plenty of eyeshadow palettes that I love that I've talked about, but I wanted to just kind of narrow it down to like something new that I've tried that I'm loving. And the Makeup by Mario, the new matte palette that launched, this is the Master Mattes, the Neutrals, is one I would definitely pick up. I would also pick this one up if you don't have it. It's his other matte. Now, do you need them both? Certainly not. One definitely leans a little more cool, one definitely leans more warm, but I love these both. I was using this one all the time, and now I'm using this one all the time. They're both great. That gives you every neutral shade that you need from light to dark. They are all completely matte, so it's just a good complement to, you know, any other eyeshadow that you're pairing it with. If you want to pair some shimmer with it to give a little pop on the lid, or if you want to do an all matte look. So today I have on the more cool tone one, and I just did a mix of these shades here on the lid, and I blended these two underneath the brow, and then I popped a little bit of the Dior highlighter palette, the lighter shades in the inner corner, just to give a little bit of a highlight to the eye. But it's just a very clean, classic, polished look. I do think everyone needs a good neutral matte palette, whether it's this one or another one. It's just really important to have one. Now, you can create full looks out of these palettes. You certainly don't need to pair a shimmer shadow with it, but they're just great staples to have. Okay, let's talk about Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. You guys know I'm going to recommend the Bobbi Brown. I love them. I think that they are the best cream shadow stick formula out there. there. They're very creamy. They glide onto the skin and the lid very easily, and they stay creamy long enough for you to blend it out or manipulate it or smudge it out. But once they dry and set, they stay in place. They're not going to crease. They're not going to budge. They're not going to fade. You can use these as eyeshadow all over the lid. You can use them as eyeliner, which I like to do as well. Some of my favorite shades are the shade Mica. I also love Golden Bronze, and Smoky Topaz are really nice. They also have these in a matte formula if you prefer matte. I really love the shimmer in these. It's very refined, not too sparkly or glittery, so it just gives a little subtle highlight to the eye. Now I have one eyeliner to share from Fenty Beauty. This is the liner Puppy Eyes, and this isn't new. I've actually used this for a couple years, but I recently purchased a couple more of these. This shade, you guys, is stunning. Let me just show you how pretty this is. It is the most gorgeous copper shade. It's so soft and creamy, so it just glides onto the eyelash line so easily. There's no tugging. You don't have to go over and over and over it to get pigment payoff. You can smudge it if you want to before it sets in place. I love it. So let's talk about lashes. I have 3 products to share. First, we're gonna start with the Dior Lash Primer. I can never do a Sephora recommendations video without including this. It just feels wrong to me. This is my favorite lash primer. This conditions the lashes, so it'll actually improve the health of your lashes over time, but it's going to make your mascara just look that much better. I've used this for over a decade. I love it. Okay, so I picked 2 mascaras. Now, there are some really great mascaras out there, so these don't necessarily mean that these are the best of the best, but I picked these 2 for a reason. So I think that if you want a general like lengthening and volumizing mascara, if I had to recommend one, like if someone asked me, Lisa, what's the one mascara you would recommend? It would be the Bobbi Brown Smoky Lash Mascara. And the reason why is because it's lengthening, it's volumizing, it's separating, and it just gives a very like fluttery, natural lash look. So I think generally that appeals to everybody, right? Now, some people like really dramatic lashes. They want them to be thicker. They kind of like more of a clumpy, dramatic look. But I think if you are someone that likes a dramatic look, or you are someone that likes a really soft, natural look, I think you can get that from this mascara. You can really layer it and build it. It's the most versatile mascara, and it's just an underrated product in my opinion, and I love it. Now, if you are someone that's like, I want drama, I want heavy lashes, I want like high impact, I would recommend the YSL Lash Clash Mascara. This is a newer mascara. I think this launched in the last 6 months or so. The only thing about this mascara is it's a little messy. So, and you'll see it when you pull it out, you'll see that, you know, especially after you've had it for about a month, it's thicker, it gets around the rim. So you just gotta be a little careful with it. But this will give you some mega lashes, and it'll do it quickly, you guys. So I do love this mascara. Another mascara you can't get at Sephora, but another mascara that I really like for dramatic lashes is Jones Road mascara is like thebomb.com. I love that mascara. So there you go. Okay, let's jump into lips. I have a few products to share with you. 2 lip liner formulas that I'm loving, and particularly the shades. We'll start with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium 2. This color is beautiful. It is the perfect ideal lip color in my opinion, and I love it. I don't know what else to say about it. I just think it's beautiful. I have 4 or 5 of them in different places of my studio and my home. It is my go-to lip liner. It's natural, but it's just a little more enhanced than natural. It's great to overline the lips as well. If you do overline the lips, just make sure you kind of fill in and you don't just have a harsh line around the lips, because as your lipstick fades throughout the day, it's going to be very obvious. So you really want to kind of pull and sketch that into the lips. The Huda Beauty lip pencil in the shade Pinky Brown. I really love this shade. It's a very great neutral pink. Great every day. It's not too pink and it's not too peach. It's kind of a blend between the two, honestly. It's kind of a blend between like if you're familiar with MAC Spice and MAC Royal lip pencils, it's kind of right in between those two. Really creamy, soft formula. I also like that it is, you know, you just roll it up. You're not gonna get a super fine point like with a pencil that you have to sharpen like the Charlotte Tilbury, but it is obviously very convenient. Okay, let's talk about a couple of lip products really quickly, and then we will wrap this video up. So many great lip products. I almost feel like I am forgetting a ton here, but I wanted to just share kind of my most like go-to lip sticks from Sephora at the moment. The YSL Candy Lip Gloss Sticks. It's basically lipstick that is super, super glossy. I have the shade 15, and I think I also have the shade 13. I'll put it down below. But this is just a super high shine glossy lipstick. The pigment is buildable, so you can get a real sheer wash of color, or you can build it up to get more color. You can also apply it on top of a lip color, which is what I did today. And I like to just kind of blot it on the lips. It's one of those formulas that's really soft, so if you apply too much pressure, or if it's been sitting in your car for a while and it's really warm, it'll like come off onto the lips, if that makes sense, like chunks of it will. So it's very similar to the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips and any of those type of formula products, but I love this. It's really nice, high shine, and a nice like thick, comfortable wear on the lips. It is a thicker formula, but it's very comfortable. The other lipstick that I wanted to share, particularly the color, is the new Charlotte Tilbury Red Carpet Pink. I have it on with the number 15 YSL on top, but this is just a really beautiful, cool tone. Let's see, let's put it right here. Cool tone, candy pink. Look at this. Very pigmented, creamy, has some shine to it, but it's not super glossy. It's just a really great everyday pink. I like this formula because it's not super shiny, so if you want a little bit more of a matte look, I mean, it's not a matte lipstick, but if you want a little more matte look, meaning you don't want it to be a shiny or glossy lip, you can wear it alone, but you can obviously pair a gloss on top of it if you want more shine. Okay, you guys, another formula that I want to share is from Patrick Ta. What are these called? These are the I don't exactly know what the formula name is. They don't have it on here, but this formula is a super, super pigmented, like lip gloss, essentially. It's more like a lip cream. I guess like lip cream would be a more accurate description of this product, but it's not sheer. It's not a sheer lip gloss. It does have some shine to it, but it's not a lip gloss formula. They are really nice. So I have two shades of it. I have the shade Flushed, which we're gonna put right here. I mean, look at how pigmented these are. I mean, wow. Talk about like impact. You know, if you just kind of want a one and done product, this is great. So that is the shade Flushed. This is the shade She's Secure, more of a peachy shade. These are beautiful. They are just like fully pigment, full opacity. Oh, they're called the Silky Lip Cream. That's what they're called. They're called the Silky Lip Cream. So we've got these two shades. The peachy one is She's Secure, and the pinky one is Flushed. So that wraps this video up. If you have made it to the end, drop a comment and let me know down below. And thank you for being here with me. I know this was a long one. I talked about a lot of product. I'm gonna have all the details to the Sephora Beauty Insider event down in the description box below, but you guys know the deal. It's tiered depending on your status with Sephora. You get access to the sale and the event at different dates. So I will have all that info, the dates and the discounts that you get down in the description box. And again, I'm gonna tag all of these products in the YouTube shopping platform, and I'm also going to link them and list them in the description box. So thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.